G'day guys, welcome back to Dojo Rescue, another episode of, unfortunately, me and Graham today, sort of back to normal.
Yep.
Eddie may join us, he's on a coaching call, always doing what we can to help other people out. But today guys, we are doing another live training and we're here to help you. So if you have questions, if you would like to jump on live, by the way, I've got a comment coming your way right now. I'm going to show this comment here. Where is it? And I'm going to land that in for you, and you are going to see that come up in a minute, and you're going to get the opportunity to join us live on this particular show where we do a split screen. So if you do that, you're going to get priority. You're going to get some one-on-one coaching from me, Graham, and Eddie when he's here. Or if you're not too keen on getting on camera, which is, like part of the show, you can leave some comments and we'll help you out there. But guys, Graham, why don't I just do this little technical part? Yep. Why don't you tell the guys about what happened over the last sort of week down here in TIMA?
All right, cool. So since we've seen you last, we've had a 5-day business intensive that we hosted here in Western Australia at our schools. We started on Wednesday last week and finished up on late Sunday evening. Now, tell you what, it was a absolute jam-packed session. So day one, we did some marketing and sales, and that was start at 8 a.m. in the morning. I believe we got rid of the guys at just short of 8 p.m. So a 12-hour day of content and really great discoveries. I know the guys who were in attendance, we had a bunch of guys that flew in from interstate. We had a bunch of guys travel, may as well have been interstate. We're here in WA, we've got a place called Albany, which is miles away. 4 hours of drive, so you can kind of get the idea it's far away. So we had a bunch of guys drive up from that and share with us. Anyway, look, they had some really great discoveries on their marketing, the way that they approach things, but also the sales and the conversions, whatnot. Day two is about forward planning or future planning.
Yep.
So we talked about our business plans, what we do on a regular basis, every 12 months revisiting, setting some goals, and reverse engineering. For example, I had some of the guys who were in attendance that had a pretty serious goal to go from 300 members to 500 members. And I said, the biggest thing we found is the lack of staff to help facilitate that.
Yeah.
So we went, okay, big picture, you're running now instructor training through the TIMA instructor courses. How often are you running that? How many students you're going through? Let's say there's 20 students on a regular basis. Out of those 20, how many are going to be left over as good staff or potential staff?
Yep.
And really kind of reverse engineer to allow them to go, okay, well, realistically, I've got 24 months with the way they operate that I think I'm going to have the staff to reach that goal. So that was a really great day of discovery. Day three, which was the Friday, we went and visited all of the WAIMA dojos and gave the guys a chance to see it running live, to see how we maximise and utilise our space, how initially with this location we're in at the moment, we inherited a school which had certain features already set in place. Moving from that, we've been able to revisit and relook at things that creating a new dojo, you certainly become more efficient with how you're going to use your operation space. And then 3 days of that, more of the business, the management behind the scenes, and then we hit them with on the floor stuff, which is, wow. Look, I must say it was probably one of the best instructor courses we've delivered to date.
Cool.
We've done some great stuff, but we had close to 70 people in attendance on that, and moving through, leveling up, grading through to the next level, some assessments, some homework to take home, and ready to go. Now, what that's also prompted too, to be honest with you, is now what's exciting is the fact that we've now got instructors that have gone beyond the grade 3, which is the upper level for our instructor, right through to now grade 4, 5, and 6, which is behind the scenes management stuff. So we will be running some management specific, leadership specific training coming up in the not so distant future.
Awesome. Well, we've got our first guest coming on, and she's just jumped on live. So I'm going to bring her on the comments. I'm going to hide here. I'm going to bring you into to the screen here in a couple of minutes. Roselle, how are you?
Good, thanks.
Good. Finally get to meet you face to face now.
There we go. I'll squeeze in.
How are you?
There you go. Awesome. Good.
Awesome. Thanks for jumping on. Now, let me ask you before we get started, how do I pronounce your name?
It's Roselle.
Roselle, yeah, cool. I'm pretty sure I got it right, but I wanted to make sure,
No, all good.
Awesome. So tell us a little bit about maybe some of the challenges or a question that you may have for us.
Question I had. Sorry, I jumped on. I was just like, I'll press this link.
Just bring the camera down so I can see your face.
The question I had is, I suppose we're always stuck at 200, 250 members.
Yeah.
I always don't know to move to the next spot.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. At the moment, we sign up as fast as we lose. So we just sit there.
Yeah.
It's the question that I have for you. I guess more the statement. It's a Henry Ford quote. If you always do what you've always done, you'll always get what you've always got. And it just means that obviously you're using some sort of strategy currently to bring your members in, probably both internal and external, and as you said, they're joining up as quickly as they're leaving. So really there's that exponential growth that you're looking for to get you from 250 to say 400. You really have to change the strategy that you're using, or use some different ideas to make that work. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
Rizal, what I'd love to hear, if you can, and obviously now is probably not the time to list them all, but would you mind just sending us some of the marketing strategies that you guys are using both online and offline, so we can kind of go, look, you've got 5 things you're using really well, but hey, here's 5 other ones that you're not using, because therein lies the challenge.
Don't
because
do much marketing.
Okay.
Really, it's word of mouth and a bit of Facebook.
Cool. Well, straight away we have got some solutions to help you get to that 400 mark or beyond, if that's ever your dream. But there's things that I had a really good conversation with Eddie and the team yesterday about the offline marketing that we're doing, about lead generation, getting into community. Referrals are by far the very best, but I certainly know that you need to get out there and be seen and whatnot. So even though you think, well, marketing, I'm not going to spend tons of money, you don't have to. It's sometimes more about time. And this is something I'll chat about a little bit later in the show, is having staff available to be able to do things and go out into the community on your behalf is vital, but sometimes therein lies the challenge. You don't necessarily always have spare staff, or you're limited in your time. So it'd be great to still hear, even though you say you don't do a lot, I'd love to still hear or see or understand what you guys are doing, so I can offer some couple of quick win suggestions that'll help you guys get some really good leads.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's 3 things that I think about, right? So you've got online, which is really big right now. And as you said, you're doing a little bit of Facebook stuff. Are you doing that yourself, or have you got someone doing that for you?
No, just doing it ourselves.
Yeah. So right there's a limit. This is one of the things that we like to sort of, I guess, preach. The thing about being a martial arts business owner is that we feel like we have to be good at everything. Meaning, like, we're told we've got to get good at Facebook marketing, and we've got to do all this internal stuff, and we've got to do our cricket. There's so many things as a martial arts business owner that you have to be good at. Really, you have to work on specialising on only a couple things, right? And if you've got talents and skills and abilities in marketing, then that's obviously going to be something that you would take on. Now, if you've got someone within your business or within your school that has a passion in marketing, and specifically Facebook, then I'll be finding them to help you get the results in that area. Otherwise, you use a company like, Eddie, his company does the Facebook marketing for our company. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
We were getting some results, but we were limited in knowledge, time and ability. So once we started hiring someone of that skill and ability, well, we again could focus just our time on the internal stuff, the stuff that we're good at, and let him work on that and get the results that we can. So there's that sort of mindset, I believe. But then there's the other 2 things. There's internal marketing, so referral stuff, getting your current students to bring members in. And then there's you going outside of your... Yeah. And then there's the stuff about you going outside of your school. The business to business, the schools, the shopping centres, and all that other stuff where it's not in-house, it's not online, it's in between. It's outside your shop, but it's foot traffic. It's sort of like a little bit old school, And what strategy works better? All of them. Because if you put all your eggs in the Facebook basket and the work doesn't work there, then you're screwed. And if you put all your eggs in referrals, then you're screwed. So you've really got to work out a marketing calendar and a plan that you can stick by. Almost 3 months, have it planned in advance. Well, you should have 12 months planned in advance.
Cool. Look, Rizal, what I just want to share with you just quickly, and we've just helped a school similar to yours where they weren't doing a lot of marketing. They had a pretty good student base number like yourself, and we helped them grow to an extra 90 members in 6 months through this offline strategies. which really didn't cost them any more money within reason. Obviously, there's some print costs and bits and pieces, but it's just a little bit of time invested. So if you guys haven't done any marketing in that space and you've already succeeded at the school level you are, well then a few tweaks or a few things in place and you'll have some massive growth there.
It's interesting. I picked up on something you said earlier, Robert, on your actual targeting. You know, you were saying narrowing your targeting or getting better at it. And with these...
I think it's hard.
Yeah, it is hard, and the reason it's hard for martial arts places is because it's local area, right? So you don't have this huge swathe of people to narrow down to. And a lot of the actual new customers coming in, they aren't people who've thought of doing martial arts before, right? They've got the problem of lack of fitness or lack of self-discipline, or their kids need confidence, or whatever those intangible type things are.
Yeah.
But they're not necessarily thinking martial arts, right? Until they come across the business, have a little bit of a go at it and go, wow, this is really the solution to the problem, right? So what you can do to get better with sort of targeting is the message on your ads, right? This is something we've been doing a lot lately within, I guess, our business, but also I do it for other businesses and or other martial arts dojos and companies, is putting the message of your ad to actual segments of the market, right? So if you do an offer that is for teachers, you could do that as an ad broadly and you will get a better result. Or to police, or to security, or nurses, or any of these community areas that need some sort of self-defense in their actual job, right? But you'll also find that breaks the clutter. So on the ad itself, if you've got nurses, every nurse will stop at that ad, right? And just getting them to stop changes the whole game, because then they're looking at your offer. Now they might come into it for self-defense, but they might come into it for fitness or whatever other reason. But it gets them to stop on it and go, well, this is for me, right? So it's not necessarily the targeting. You can't really narrow your targeting too much, but the actual message on these ads is very important.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Cool, man. So look, I know what you're thinking right now, and obviously we've had a few chats. It's like, where do I start? There's no...
It was literally like, you know, it's public forum, so I'm looking at it.
Yeah.
Too much was in my...
What I want you to think of as a business owner, like you're looking at someone, or three people. I know Graham and I, between us, we have nearly, I think, 8 businesses by now. And I know Eddie's running a couple of businesses as well. And whenever we start a new business, it's not to give us more work, you know what I mean? Like, I have to come from the mindset of what do I really need to do and what can I get someone else to do? Because if I was doing everything in every business that I ever own, I wouldn't be able to manage one of them. So let's just break it down to one business. If you've got all these things that you really want to achieve, you've got to ask yourself, and it goes back to exactly the conversation that Graham was starting this live was what team do you have, and now they trained well enough to be able to take the things off your plate. So if there was one thing that I would start at, it's your team. It all comes back to that.
100%.
And you need to be the visionary, you need to be the one sailing the ship, and you need to have a marketing team, you need to have, and this is not a sales thing, this is a team around you to help you give you ideas. You need your instructors, you need your team over here, you need the guys that are going to go to the schools for you and market that, but also be there in the classes. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So I think the problem is, let's not think about how many fingers do I have versus how many holes are in the bucket. Let's just wrap that thing in glad wrap, all right, so it doesn't leak, while building up a really good team.
I love it.
Yeah.
100% agree. You know, that's kind of what I'm doing. It's wrapped up. It's trying to squeeze out what I can do immediately. You know, if I showed you my desk, you're going to see, you know, lots of leadership stuff and lots of your stuff around. And like trying to just go, okay.
Cool. What you can do too, Rob, is if you ever get stuck, mate, and you're not sure where to start, just ask us. If it was you and you're in this situation, where would you start first? And you may go, look, I've got 10 bits of information, but I need 20. Guys, where do you recommend I start looking for the other 10 bits? So, you know, we're here to support you to really kind of streamline the targeted approach towards getting you the results straight away. And when you first start, it can be a bit overwhelming, a lot to learn, but let us know, mate, because I certainly know that we love to cut away the stuff that is going to distract you and just get you to the good stuff straight away.
If you were a school with 50 members, you were barely breaking even, and you knew you needed to do marketing, but you got to that point where you could maybe afford some outsourcing, what would you do?
50 members, content marketing. Yeah. I wouldn't do any paid marketing. I would be putting out lots of content onto your Facebook, right? So things like live video of the classes. I would be tagging local community stuff. So if you had schools, I would be tagging people from those schools in it. Putting up photos of all of the people which are in your school, so their friends then see that, and that rolls on forward. Cool. All that type of stuff. And then I'd be putting those offers out there. So you work on those referral offers and all those sort of things. If you've got some money to put into advertising, you want to do Facebook stuff, but you've got to be able to do direct lead gen, get those leads and convert them into dollars, and do it slowly if needs be. Right? Small schools are easier in some ways. They have less people leaving usually, so they don't have that large number you've got to cover with your advertising expense. So that does make it easier.
What would you see as being like a half decent amount to spend on marketing a week on Facebook? I know it's going to be. I know it varies. I know it's half decent.
Okay, so if let's say you've got 50 students, right?
Yeah.
And you want to build up to 100 students, then you have to, we started the whole conversation with where do people start, right? And it is a recurring theme for us in this show already, right? Where you start is you've got to start with your end goal in mind, right? Now, if I was starting, and I have done this in a business, started out from scratch as a coach and gone, I need new clients. Well, you have to go backwards before you go forwards. So a reasonable dollar figure to be putting into it is to go, well, what should my return on investment be? If I have a lifetime value from a client of $1,000 and I put 100 in to get that client, well, that's okay, right? So that sets your budget. So then you go, well, how much do I want to grow and how quickly? And how many dollars do I put in? So let's say to get a client in costs you $50 into your business, and you want to grow by one client a week, and you don't have a lot of loss, like you're not losing from cancellations a lot because you're smaller by nature, you might only put a 50 or 100 in a week, go backwards, and then you'll go forwards as it cascades.
Makes sense.
Because if you get 2 people a week, in 3 weeks' time, that's 6. Then you're getting the revenues per week from 6. It's going to cover your lead spend.
Smart. I like that.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I don't know about you guys, but that was pretty productive. I think it's a pretty good show to as our second show. Graham, do you want to have a wrap-up conversation about everyone as we sort of...
Look, I think, we've got some pretty amazing things that are going on here in our corner of the world here at WA, but we're also taking TIMA, as always, on road shows and moving around the country and whatnot. We're heading to Sydney in November to partner with Hyper to run a martial arts athletes day. We've done it last year and it's a phenomenal event. One, it's great for instructor training. One, it's great for your students, and even more so in the business side of things that we bring to it. So we may even, like I said last time, bring the Dojo Rescue to the road and do some
the shovels, the pitchforks, and stuff like that,
and bring it over there. But look, honestly, I'm really interested to hear you guys. Hey, Rodney, what I wouldn't mind doing is getting you just as a way to communicate to the guys in the group. Let them know your experience about the weekend. Rodney was here at the instructor training, or had his staff here and had his instructors here. So I'd love to hear some feedback on how you went.
On a separate post would be good, not on here because we're about to finish.
Yeah, but on a way that you can share with the guys your experiences, because I know you've shared some stuff with me, but I'd love you to share that with the other guys just so they see some value to get out and get over here. But number 2, I guess for you guys, some feedback from yourselves, how you found the show this week. I know we had some teething issues last week. It was kind of cool, but we're always improving. That's our goal.
Also, next week, Graham and I are off to America, the States. We're going to go hang out with our good friend Mr. Roland Osborne from Hyper and have some fun and create a brand new program for him. So stay tuned on social media as we show you and document the journey of our trip to the States.
What we might do too, if we can pin him down, is usually hard to get a hold of, but we may be able to do a 10-minute call or a live video while we're in the lab creating some cool stuff. So we'll share that with you guys as we go.
All right, guys. Well, thank you very much for joining in. I hope you have a fantastic week, and make sure you do everything you need to do to grow your business, and don't forget to delegate the things that you know you can. All right, guys. Take care.
Thanks, guys.
We'll see you next time.